Hello everyone, this is part 27 of What If Naruto was banished and becomes Master Swordsman, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist. To see more, comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Konoha Stadium remains. All who remained at the stadium watched closely. Senzairu, whose ember-colored eyes gazed intensely at Aizu, and was preparing to end this battle once and for all. He had perfected the jutsu so that there was no way Aizu would survive this time. The same could be said for himself. Angel of Death, an S-rank jutsu stored in the Forbidden Scroll. Those who know of the technique didn't bother to learn it. The sacrifice was not worth it. The creator of such a jutsu did think it was worth it, hence the reason why he created the jutsu in the first place. Flashback 19 years ago. Summer mornings in Konoha were always beautiful, especially when you were with the person you loved. Senzairu and Kurenai were walking down the street holding hands. They were heading to their meeting spot where Asuma would be waiting. They actually had a mission today in Grass Country. With the war going on with the Rock Country, missions were constant. I hope we get a good mission, and run into some enemy shinobi. I've been dying to fight, a younger Senzairu said with excitement. Senzai-kun, you shouldn't be anxious to do battle. Remember, it is a war going on and the possibility that one of us won't return is extremely high. Kurenai pointed out. Kurenai, we are the strongest squad. Well, Kakashi's squad is pretty good. Really though, I hate that guy, he's arrogant and he gets all of the cool missions. Obito is lucky. I wish we could have been a part of Minato-sensei team's mission to Grass. How long have they been gone anyway? It's been close to a week now, they should be returning any day now. Both Kurenai and Senzairu looked up to see Asuma sitting in a tree chewing on a stick. Hey Asuma, where is Shikaku-sensei? Senzairu asked. Shrugging his shoulders, I don't know, but I was ordered by Sandaime to inform you guys that we have to report to the Hokage Tower in another hour. For now, our mission has been suspended. Senzairu frowned at the last part. Great, now we are stuck here in the village with nothing to do. I swear, Obito is lucky. Jumping down from the tree, Asuma landed next to his teammates. Well, we should get going, you guys ready? Both nodded and the squad headed off to the Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower 15 minutes later. Team Shikaku arrived at the Hokage Tower to see Sandaime sitting behind his desk with tons of paperwork in front him. While writing on a piece of doent, he addressed the squad. You guys are a little early, but I guess it's better than being late. Senzairu was the first to speak. Hokage-sama, why have you summoned us here? Sandaime stood up and walked over to the window. All missions have been suspended until next week. Kurenai was curious. Why Hokage-sama? Sandaime turned to the group with a sad expression. Many of our shinobi were lost during this last mission to Grass. We will take a week to mourn the losses that we have incurred during this time. If it wasn't for Konoha's yellow flash, I fear that we would have lost far more shinobi. So you mean Minato-sensei's team is okay? That's a relief. Senzairu said with sense of happiness. That's why I called your team here. I informed Shibi's team not too long ago. Team Minato has suffered a tremendous loss a few days ago. We received word yesterday from a carrier hawk. Sandaime informed the group. Don't tell me Kakashi was killed. Asuma stated, knowing how respected and gifted Kakashi was. Out of everyone, he was thought to be the one to become the Godime. He stared into his son's eyes and said, no, it wasn't Kakashi who was lost. It was Uchiha Obito. Team Shikaku's eyes widened in surprise. How? Senzairu asked, still in shock. He died protecting a comrade, a worthy death of a leaf shinobi. Listen, Team Minato will be back later on today. I'm sure everyone on their team is not taking this well, so if you could, please try to be understanding. Listening to what his father said, Asuma knew that Team Minato would definitely be changed upon their return. He was sad by the fact that Obito was Kia, but he knew that it was the life of a shinobi. I just wanted to make you aware of the situation. You all are free to go. Sarutobi sat back in his chair and watched as the group slowly exited his office. Upon leaving his office, Orochimaru and his newest apprentice, the 11-year-old Mitarashi Anko, were heading towards Sandaime's office while the group exited. Smiling at Senzairu, "So I see you heard the news, a pity about what happened." "Orochimaru, you heard about Obito as well?" Senzairu asked the man. "Yes, but that isn't the only thing I've heard. It seems that Kakashi benefited from the Uchiha kid's death. Honestly, I don't know why you kids are so eager to fight when all that is waiting for you is the Konoha cemetery. That Obito kid was always out to prove himself. Looking back on it, he reminded me of you, uncle. Another fool. Another what?" Orochimaru turned his head when he saw Tsunade glaring at him from behind. "My apologies, Chuand. I was just telling your son that he shouldn't be eager to go into combat. I would hate for his fate to be as tragic as the Uchiha kid or your little brother's." Orochimaru's mouth formed a slight smirk. Tsunade fist clenched, but she felt a familiar hand on her shoulder. "Orochimaru, knock it off. The old man called us here for a reason, so let's go and see what he wants from us exactly." Orochimaru, along with Anko, Tsunade, and Jiraiya headed toward the Hokage's office. Orochimaru turned around and looked at Team Shikaku. "You kids would do well not to rush to your deaths like your little friend did. Also Senzairu, you may be the holder of the Phoenix contract, but that doesn't mean you are invincible." The Snake Sannin glanced at Anko, who knew that was his way of telling her to wait outside. When the Sannin entered the room, Anko looked at Senzairu. "Why don't you like Orochimaru-sama? That guy always has something negative to say. He walks around here like he's better than everyone. I don't see why everyone is scared of that guy." Senzairu stated. "He's the strongest of the Sannin and he is next in line to be Hokage. It is only natural for people to fear and respect Orochimaru-sama." Anko said in her teacher's defense. "Strongest Sannin, are you brain dead? My mother is the strongest of the Sannin. Anyway, it doesn't matter who is stronger, he shouldn't walk around thinking he is better than everyone. I wonder what he will do when I surpass him." Senzairu's comments made Anko mad. "You will never surpass Orochimaru-sama, he is the strongest shinobi in the village." The frown on her face illustrated her anger. "Actually, Minato-sensei is the strongest shinobi in the Leaf. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a candidate to be Hokage," Asuma pointed out. Kurenai knew that Senzairu was too stubborn to back down, so she decided that enough was enough. "Let's go, guys. We should find Shizune, Genma, and Rado." Senzairu nodded and walked away, leaving Anko behind. He wanted to say something, but his first concern was to Obito's family. He wanted to give his condolences. Even though Obito wasn't his best friend, he was one of his good friends. Turning to Kurenai and Asuma, "I will meet up with you guys, I have something that I need to do." The two nodded understanding. Leaving the group, Senzairu headed towards the Uchiha district. Uchiha district 20 minutes later. The young Chunin, the only one in the village to have a black vest, slowly approached the Uchiha district. The Uchiha clan was the most feared clan in the world. In a one-on-one battle, it was almost impossible to defeat an Uchiha. Senzairu, however, had a great advantage. His mother was a Sannin, whose ability lied in medical ninjutsu and taijutsu. With her knowledge and training, she made him aware of everything that the Sharingan was capable of and how to combat the dojutsu. Even though he knew all this, he still knew that doing battle with an Uchiha was not recommended. The reason he liked Obito was because he didn't act like your typical Uchiha, arrogant and overconfident. Obito was different in that aspect. He knew that coming to this district, much like the Hyuga district, he was bound to get into a confrontation for two reasons. 1, because he was the son of a Sannin, and 2, he was the wielder of the legendary Phoenix contract. He was always confronted by either a Hyuga or an Uchiha, but he avoided battle usually because of Kurenai. While walking into the district, he was stopped immediately by two Uchiha clan members. He recognized the two, they were the ones that he would have words with from time to time. The 12-year-old Tekka and the 16-year-old Anabi were two Uchihas that he really hated, especially Anabi. Anabi, who was a Junin, spoke. "What are you doing here?" "Look, I don't want any trouble, I just wish to pass so I can see Obito's parents," Senzairu informed the two. "So you heard that weakling was killed. Loser, and even in death he had no honor. I tell you, giving that Hatake Kakashi the Sharingan was the ultimate disgrace to our clan," Tekka said with disgust. "What? You mean Kakashi has a Sharingan? I didn't even think that was possible." "Obviously it is, doesn't matter though, Kakashi is a loser. Can't believe he's a Junin as well. You want to go pass, you say? Go home to your mother, loser." Anabe stated. Senzairu clenched his fist. Instead of acting on his anger and beating Anabe senseless, he decided to just turn around and walk away. I'll stop by a little later. Anabe smiled with satisfaction. Next time you step foot on Uchiha soil, I'm going to kick your ass. Senzairu didn't mind him, he just ignored that guy completely. While walking down the path that led to and from the Uchiha complex, he ran into Uchiha Mikoto and a 4-year-old Itachi, who were carrying a bunch of flowers. Stopping to say hello, Mikoto-san and Itachi-chan, how are you two? We could be better, but as you know we suffered a loss to one of our members. Obito's parents are not taking it very well. Mikoto informed Senzairu. Ka-san, even though Obito-san did lose his life, he died in an honorable way. Not only did he do what he had to complete his mission, and he did save a comrade. Itachi stated. Patting her son's head, she smiled at her child. I'm glad that you see it that way. Most don't. Majority of our clansmen believed that he disgraced the clan by giving Kakashi his Sharingan. Well, if Obito gave Kakashi his eye, then he had his reason, and his decision should be respected. Well, Mikoto-san, could you give Obito's parents my regards? You take care of yourself, Mikoto, you too, Itachi. The younger Uchiha bowed and Mikoto waved as Senzairu left them. 4 hours later, on the roof of his house, Senzairu was looking to the sky. Obito's death did affect him more than he thought it would have. I never lost anyone important to me, well father, but I barely remember him. Ka-san lost her parents, father, and her brother to war. Sitting by yourself, I'm shocked that Kurenai isn't with you. Turning his head, he saw his mother smiling at him. What's going on, Senzairu? Turning back to look at the sky, nothing, Ka-san. Tsunade knew her son better than anyone. She walked up to him and took a seat. Nothing the matter you say. Spill it, kid. Turning to his mother he asked, Ka-san, when you lost your parents, father, and your brother, how did you deal with it? Chuan wasn't expecting this question. In fact, she never wanted to talk about the pain she felt when losing her dear people, but since the person she cared for the most was the one asking, she had to answer. Well, when my parents died in the war, it hurt me really bad. It was then I decided to become a medic. Your uncle and I were alone, but Sarutobi-sensei did look after us. For a long time, it was just me and Nawaki, during which time, I studied medicine, and being a member of the Sannin, well, we weren't called such at the time, I had to learn how to fight. When you have a genius like Orochimaru in your team, you have to up your skill set. Really? Orochimaru is that good? Senzairu asked. Well, he's a well-rounded shinobi, a force to be reckoned with. Even though he gets under my skin, he is someone you want on your side in the heat of battle. Anyway, I worked on taijutsu and medical jutsus. As years went along, Nawaki became a genin, and during which time I became known to all as one of the legendary Sannin. Tsunade explained. Sannin, I remember that story. The legendary salamander Hanzo defeated you guys and gave you the name. He is said to be the greatest shinobi in the world. I'm going to beat him one day and be even more renowned than you, Ka-san. Senzairu flinched when Tsunade grabbed both of his shoulders. Listen, don't you think about seeking him or any S-class level shinobi out to prove your strength. You're all that I have, and if I lose you, just don't go looking to prove yourself. You're already strong, Senzairu, not to mention you are the wielder of the Phoenix contract. Your time will come, son, just don't go rushing things. That is how I lost your uncle. Senzairu saw the pain in his mother's eyes. So that's what happens when you lose someone you care for. Everything you have becomes that more precious. He hugged his mother. You don't have to worry, I promise I won't do anything stupid. But what you said to me goes for you as well. Shinzune-chan, Asuma, Kurenai, and you are dear to me. If I lost any one of you, I don't know what I would do. Well, your uncle and father are why I'm known as the medical specialist. You see, son, when you lose something dear to you, it forces you to look at things that will ensure that you can be effective so it won't happen again. Nawaki forced me to focus more on becoming a medical specialist, and your father forced me to create techniques that would place a severely wounded shinobi into a comatose state until further medical care could be provided. I know what you're thinking. You want to make sure what happened to Obito doesn't happen to anyone you care about, right? Yeah, but I wouldn't know what type jutsu I could create. I mean, if someone is injured, we have a medic to take care of that. Each unit is assigned a medic nin, Besides, I'm a fighter, medical jutsus aren't my forte. Looks like I will have to create a jutsu that will ensure the safety of my teammates. Senzairu stood up and looked at Tsunade. Thanks, Car-san, you always help me see things better. What are mothers for? Now, get out of here and don't forget to visit Kakashi at the hospital. Is Kakashi okay? The young shinobi asked. Yes, we just want to keep him overnight and examine his eye. When I left, Rin, Kurenai, Guy, Shizune, and Asuma were all there. Well, I will be back later, Car-san. Later, Senzairu jumped from the rooftop and landed on the ground. The moment he landed, he was off and running toward the hospital. Konoha Hospital. Arriving at the hospital about 25 minutes later, Senzairu walked into Kakashi's room, to find the young Junin sitting up in his bed looking at familiar pair of goggles in his hand. What do you want, Senzairu? Kakashi asked without even looking up. I just came to see how you were doing, Kakashi. Your eye. Obito's eye. Kakashi said, correcting him, is covered. It was not meant to be in my body. From the little I understand, he did give it to you, correct? Senzairu asked. He shouldn't have, I don't deserve it. Due to my inadequacy as leader, Obito is dead. I just wish that. What? You could have saved him. Kakashi and Senzairu turned to the door to see Minato standing at the doorway. You're too hard on yourself, Kakashi. Teammates work together to achieve a goal and fight for one another, but friends die for each other. Obito's sacrifice was his way of showing you that he valued your life as much as he valued his own. He was true shinobi, and his eye was not only a gift, but to let you know that he will always be watching out for you. You can keep beating yourself up, Kakashi, but in the end Obito isn't coming back. Make good of the gift he has given you and ensure that his legacy lives on. Minato's words touched both Senzairu and Kakashi. Turning to Senzairu, Senzairu, let's leave, Kakashi. Senzairu turned back to see Kakashi as he walked away, only to see tears hitting the white sheets that were pulled over his thigh. While leaving Kakashi and heading through the hallway, Minato addressed the Chunin. Senzairu, I know you want to ask Kakashi about what happened, but I don't think he's ready. I don't even think Rin wants to talk about it. They lost someone close. I think what hurts them more is that they couldn't do anything to prevent it. Yay, I don't know what I would do if I lost a teammate without being able to do anything, which is why I plan to create a jutsu that will allow me to protect everyone. Senzairu proclaimed. Minato laughed. I'm sure you will. But even then, Minato looked off into the distance. Sometimes fate doesn't allow you to do anything when you have the power. What do you mean, sensei? The teen asked. I mean that I created the Hiraishin with the intent on saving a comrade, as long as a mark was within range of them. Even with this jutsu, many shinobi died, even Obito. Even if your technique has the power to save everyone, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will. In any case, I have to get going. My wife will be mad if I'm not home for dinner. Later, Senzairu, and remember what I said. Disappearing in a yellow flash, Senzairu narrowed his eyes. Show off. But he did take heed to what Minato said. I'm sorry, Minato-sensei, but I will create a jutsu that will save everyone, no matter what. Senzairu had an idea in mind, but research was required. He headed to the library. End of flashback. Senzairu watched as Aizu continued to struggle. Knowing that his mother, his girlfriend, and his unborn child, and the rest of Konoha needed to be protected, his thoughts took over his mind. Flashback. 8 months later. Night time in Konoha was always peaceful. There were few people walking the streets and usually no one at the training grounds, which was perfect for Senzairu, who had been using the training grounds for the last 4 months to put his technique to use. This jutsu, it is complete. After spending 7 months studying Fuan and implementing the jutsu, I was able to create Angel of Death. I have to show Car-san my jutsu. Senzairu, who was happy that he finally completed his technique, ran home. He needed to show his mother what he came up with. He knew that she would be proud. Running and jumping from rooftop to rooftop, he found himself at his house. Running through the house, the young boy yelled, Car-san. Car-san, where are you? Tsunade, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Minato, and Shizune both walked into the living room to see what all of the commotion was about. Sensei, what's the matter? I did it, Car-san. Minato-sensei, I created a jutsu that will protect everyone. I want to show you what I mean. Come with me to the backyard. Senzairu ran out to the backyard. This caused everyone to follow. Standing before everyone, his eyes focused on Tsunade, Car-san, watch, I'm going to use this log as a demonstration. Orochimaru spoke, what do you plan on showing us that will protect everyone? Just watch, you will see what I mean. Doing the necessary hand seals, Senzairu finished with the tiger seal. When he finished, his body started to glow white. This caused everyone to watch the boy closely. Looking at the log, everyone noticed a black kanji form on the log that read, Death. It didn't take long for a blinding white light to erupt from both Senzairu and the log, causing everyone to shield their eyes. After a few seconds later, when the light died down, Senzairu was clutching his knees while panting, see Car-san, I did it. Minato turned to Tsunade, Tsunade. Nodding, already aware of what he was going to say, I know Minato, I know. Orochimaru laughed, seems like your son doesn't even realize the consequences of such a jutsu. It is indeed a superior jutsu, but it isn't without its cost. I'm leaving, I have an important mission in the morning. If that boy keeps going the route he's going, you're going to lose another person dear to you, Tsunade. Orochimaru disappeared, leaving behind purple flames. Jiraiya shook his head at his friend, that Orochimaru. Senzairu was confused, he wanted to know why everyone was looking at him the way they were, as if he did something wrong. Car-san, wasn't that a great jutsu? Tsunade's only reply was, don't ever use that jutsu, ever. Minato, as Hokage you know what you will have to do, right? The Yondaime Hokage nodded, yes. I will have to place it in the Forbidden Scroll under S-class jutsu. Senzairu, I'm instructing you to not use that jutsu. Senzairu yelled, but it's my ultimate jutsu and it's a sacrifice jutsu, Minato pointed out. What? Senzairu asked, wondering how it could be so. Jiraiya explained, look kid, that jutsu is a fuan, by which you lock onto a person's chakra and form the necessary seal that generates a seal on their body. But to do that you had to find a way to summon the seal, and that requires your blood. A portion of your energy is placed into the seal, which acts as a bomb that the user cannot escape, since it is attached to them. That is the simple way of putting it. However, trees and rocks are good to practice on since they don't require as much energy. With a human, you would have to sacrifice your life force, equivalent exchange if you will. But I did spot something though, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 100, if you use that jutsu on the intent targets, no one will survive. I guess you did succeed, but you have to ask yourself one question, are you willing to sacrifice your life for your friends? Senzairu looked at the ground, his thoughts went to what Jiraiya said. My life for my friends, if I can protect them with my power then I don't care. He looked at Jiraiya, my friends would do it for me so it should go without saying, of course I would. Tsunade walked up to the boy and grabbed him by his shoulders, I don't care how you feel, don't ever use that jutsu as long as I'm living. Promise me you won't use it. He turned away from his mother, who shook him vigorously, I said promise me you won't use it ever. Senzairu. He turned to his mother with a serious expression, okay. Tsunade was content, she let the boy go. I have a mission tomorrow with Orochimaru and Jiraiya, I won't be back for a few weeks. But like I said, don't do anything stupid, Senzairu. I won't, Car-san. He assured his mother. Good. Well, I'm getting tired. Guess that's my cue. Minato, you ready? Sure, Jiraiya, let's go. The two waved goodbye to everyone as they left. Tsunade walked them back toward the house, leaving Shizune and Senzairu alone. When the two were alone, Shizune glanced over to her cousin, you have no intentions on listening to Tsunade-sama, do you? He left the girl standing by herself as he headed into the house. I won't use the technique unless I absolutely have to. End of flashback. Watching Aizu closely, Senzairu watched as the seal started to slowly form on the center of the Raikage's chest. It's going to take a while, but this will end it all. I will protect everyone this time. Tsunade watched as her son planned to sacrifice his life. She needed to do something, but with not much chakra and knowing the consequences of stepping outside of the seal, she had no choice but to watch. Why didn't she learn the technique is what she asked herself. She knew the premises behind the jutsu, but she never took the time to assimilate it into her repertoire of jutsus. Yugao didn't want to be left again. It took her a long time to get over Hayate, this would take her even longer if at all. In the short time that he came into her life, he opened her up. He gave her feelings she hadn't felt in a long time, he gave her happiness. Yugao looked at the ground as she hugged herself. Her eyes started to water as she started to think about Senzairu dying on her. She looked up and yelled out, "Please, don't leave me. We need you." With his back turned, he smiled, "I'm sorry, but this is the only way." Yugao continued to cry along with Tsunade. Yokohana couldn't help stare at the man with respect, a true hero indeed. Kakashi was thinking the same thing. He pulled down the left side of his hayate over his Sharingan with a grim look. Senzairu, you are truly a leaf shinobi. Senzairu knew that the time was getting close to finishing the jutsu. This brought his mind back to the first time he had to use it in battle. Flashback. 4 months later. 4 months had passed, Senzairu and his squad were standing before the Yondaime waiting to be assigned their mission. Team Shikaku, you will be heading to the border of lightning. Genma and Shizune will be placed in your squad for support. You will be taking the contents of this box Shusi Castle. This is an S-class mission. Normally I would send my elite Anbu team, but everyone is scattered throughout. What about Kakashi? Wouldn't he be a good addition to our squad? Senzairu asked. Yes, but unfortunately he is in Rain with Rin and Guy on a reconnaissance mission. The living legend informed them. Then why not send the Sannin? Kurenai asked. Again, I would, but it's just not possible. Jiraiya is doing a special mission for me, Orochimaru and Anko are on a mission in Rock, and Tsunade is in Suna with Sarutobi acting as a goodwill ambassadors. I'm sending you guys because I trust in your abilities. Even though your group is composed of 5 Chunin and 1 Junin, most of you are on a Junin level, you all will do your best, I'm certain. Of course we will, Team Shikaku will get the job done. Besides, Shizune is the best healer next to Ka-san and Genma is a good shinobi, no way we don't succeed. Glad to hear your enthusiasm. Well, your mission begins now. I will be heading out with you guys, but then I will go west once we reach Konoha borders. Yondaime informed the group. Why, Hokage-sama? Shizune questioned. His serious expression replaced the happy one. There is a threat that will be coming Konoha's way. I'm heading to a friend's location to see if I can avert this danger. Senzairu wondered what danger he was talking about. What do you mean? It's top secret for now, but you all will be made aware soon enough. Don't worry about it, you guys have a mission. Meet me at the gate and we will head out together. The Yondaime said to the group who left his office to head to the gate. Konoha Gate. Everyone was waiting at the gate for Yondaime. After a few minutes of waiting, he finally showed up decked out in his Junin outfit with the white robe and the flames at the bottom. Looking at everyone, you guys go ahead, I need to talk to Senzairu for a minute. The group nodded then took off. Looking into the cerulean eyes of the Hokage, yes Minato-sensei. I need to talk to you about a matter that will possibly be a threat to the village. Only a few people are aware of this, but the Kyuubi was spotted a few weeks ago destroying a village in lands south of Tea Country. The last time the Kyuubi was summoned to this plane it was done by Uchiha Madara. As you know, the Uchihas are loyal to Konoha, but I feel that if the Kyuubi is indeed back on this plane, they are in some way responsible. He did fight your great-grandfather at the Valley of the End in hopes of ruling Konoha. For a long time now, they have been acting distant toward the village and I wouldn't be surprised if they are plotting a coup d'etat, Yondaime informed him. Why would they do that and why are you telling me this Hokage-sama? Well, I'm heading to Naya's location to see if we can form a seal. The reason I'm telling you is because we have 2 people here in Konoha who have access to the tools to combat this evil, you and Orochimaru. Do you know why you and Orochimaru are hated by many of the Uchihas? They understand what those 2 contracts signify. I thought they didn't like Orochimaru because he was creepy and he seems to hate everyone. Senzairu said. Well, there are other reasons why they're not too fond of him, but that's a story for a different day. But the fact is I don't think Orochimaru will aid during our crisis. In fact, I'm starting to believe he is partially responsible for it. How so? I have spies everywhere. From what I've been hearing, there is this rumor of an organization forming called Akatsuki, and it composed of a number of S-class shinobi in the bingo book. Orochimaru is said to be a member, but I have to find proof before I tell Jiraiya. In any case, I'm telling you to be prepared. Konoha is going to need both you and Kakashi. He is already a powerful shinobi and with the Sharingan, he will become stronger. His mastery over the eye is truly amazing, considering he isn't of Uchiha blood. So what you're saying is when and if the time comes, you want me to be on the front lines fighting Kyuubi. To do that I will need to master Xeno's Fusion Flame, and Phoenix Claw. I've met Xenos once but I have never summoned him, not once. In order to even stand against the Nine Tails, I would have to master both and even then I probably still wouldn't stand much of a chance. For something like this, Heaven's Blade is needed but the Manashu clan is secretive and it would be hard to get the leader to fight for us. Senzaru pointed out. Not as hard as you think, but I don't think we need to get Raiho involved in our matters. This is something that we can deal with and I thought you should be aware of. You might not think it, but I believe that you and Kakashi will be the strongest in your generation. I will have the aid of Tsunade, Jiraiya, Sarutobi and other elite shinobi but none have the potential that you have as the wielder. The Phoenix contract isn't giving to everyone, it is among the legendary contracts. So you will play an important role in the events to come I believe. I will train even harder Minato-sensei. If I have to use my jutsu then I will. Senzaru declared. I know you will do what is necessary, but I will do the same, I am the Hokage after all. Come on, let's catch up to the group. Yondaime took off with Senzaru in hot pursuit. 7 hours later. It didn't take Senzaru long to catch up with the squad, it actually only took them a few minutes to catch up. Minato traveled with them a quarter of the way then headed west. The group decided to set up camp for the night. Genma, who was leaning on a tree trunk with a senbon in his mouth, addressed Shikaku, Captain, are you sure we should camp here? We are in enemy territory and there have been reports of shinobi in this area. That's true but we are only stopping to get 4 hours of sleep. I think it would be best if we try to get back to the leaf as soon as possible. Shikaku stated. I will stand guard, Senzaru informed everyone, you guys get some sleep. The group did just that. After the time passed, the team headed out toward the castle. Hours of traveling finally led them to their location. Delivering the contents of the box to the king, the Leaf group turned down the offer to stay the day. They left as soon as they arrived that morning, hoping to be back in Konoha by nightfall. More traveling ensued for the group. Senzaru did 2 S-class missions prior, both were hard. But this one was relatively simple, too bad he spoke too soon. The group stopped as shurikens whizzed toward them. Splitting off in different directions, Senzaru, Kurenai, Asuma, Shizune, and Genma separated from Shikaku, who now had a cloud shinobi in front of him. Senzaru and his group were cut off by 3 shinobi. Standing in the middle was a slightly taller shinobi with ice blue eyes and shoulder-length black hair. The look in his eyes was a look that Senzaru would never forget. End of flashback. And that was the day that tied our fates together, Aizu. Flashback. Leaf shinobi, we can use them for interrogation. The blue-eye cloud nin suggested. Aizu, no matter what you do it won't change the villagers' minds. The other Junin suggested. I have to regain my honor, this is the only way. Capture them all or at least try. If they refuse murder them. Aizu stated with no emotion. Shikaku went to move but was cut off by the guy in front him. Senzaru glanced at him and nodded as to tell him not to worry. Senzaru turned to Aizu and smirked, we will not be taken hostage. That only means that you will have to kill us, but I will not let my friends die so I guess that presents you with a problem. No, it presents you with one. Pointing his hand at Kurenai, a black dragon shot from his hand. Before contact could be made, a phoenix flew in the path of the dragon, saving Kurenai. Appearing in front of his girlfriend, he narrowed his eyes at Aizu, who was shocked. You tried to kill her, biggest mistake. Senzaru said with his fist clenched at his side. You are the wielder of the phoenix, I don't believe it. This has to be fate. You guys take care of the others, this kid is mine. Aizu informed the others. Without warning, the Cloud Shinobi attacked Team Shikaku. End of flashback. 100 yards away. Hayami watched Senzaru, he looks like an angel, doesn't he Sasuke-san? Yes he does. Sasuke replied. Senzaru smiled at Aizu, it won't be long now. It's almost over. Flashback. Team Shikaku engaged the group and for a while, the battle was at a standstill. Then slowly, the tide went to the cloud. One of the Cloud Shinobi injured Asuma, to the point where he couldn't move his leg that had been fractured. Shizune had been knocked unconscious by one of the shinobi who realized her importance on the team. Shikaku had his hand full with the Junin while Kurenai and Genma continued to fight the other two, a battle that they both were slowly losing. Senzairu wasn't faring too well in his battle. Aizu, who was trained in the Wicked Wind style, was using silver katana while Senzairu used a kunai to shield himself from the attacks. Slashing at Senzairu's face, the slug Sanon's son performed a backflip to dodge it. When he landed, he blocked Aisu's sword with the kunai in his hand. Sword pressed against kunai, the two glared at one another. Give it up, you can't win against me the way you are. Granted, you have done an amazing job avoiding my attacks, but you won't be able to do so for long. Aizu stated. I'm not giving up, that's not something a leaf shinobi does. Pushing Aizu back, the two separated, creating distances between each other. Both of Aisu's teammates landed next to him and spoke. That boy, the one who can summon phoenixes, is the child of Tsunade. With him, Aizu, you can restore your honor. Aizu smiled. So you are Tsunade's child. No wonder you are good. Sad really, I wanted to kill you, but it seems that you are more valuable to me alive than dead. It seems that the gods finally decided to smile on me. Looking at his two teammates, kill the red-eyed girl and the boy with the senbon in his mouth. Once that is done, help Sunshui against the Nara. What about that boy and the medic? The shinobi asked. The medic, we will take. Leave the boy, he will be our little messenger. I will capture Tsunade's son, Aizu informed. Senzairu didn't wait. He launched his assault at Aizu. With two kunai in hand, he swung his left hand at Aizu, who blocked with his sword. Using his right foot to place a kick in Aisu's gut, he found that too was blocked by the Junin from the Cloud Village. Senzairu was going all out with his attacks, until he felt a punch planted in his gut. It was followed by a swift kick that sent him flying into a tree. Acting in an instant, Kurenai ran toward him, and when Senzairu opened his eyes, he saw her falling to ground. Standing behind her was a Junin from Cloud with a kunai in his hand. He slashed her from behind and was planning to finish the job by ramming the sword in her back. Senzairu glanced at Genma, who was on one knee. It wouldn't be long before they were all dead. Shizune was coming to, and Asuma was propped against a tree. Shikaku was the only faring well against his opponent. Senzairu had no choice. If he didn't act, everyone would die. Aizu's words reached the Phoenix wielder's ears. It's over, it ends here. Senzairu smiled. Either way, it does end here. Sorry, Ka-san, it can't be helped. Forming the necessary seals and finishing it with the tiger seal, Senzairu yelled out, ha. All four of the Cloud Shinobi found that they couldn't move. Aizu tried to move but couldn't, no matter what he did. What's going on? What jutsu is this? I call it, Angel of Death. You can't escape, it is the ultimate technique. All of you will die here. To ensure their safety, you all will die. Senzairu informed Aizu of what was to come. The kanji of death slowly started to form on the chest of each shinobi. Shizune, Kurenai, and Genma were on the ground behind him. He turned his head and looked at Shizune. Shizune, tell Carson that I'm sorry, I had to do this. Asuma, take care of Kurenai for me. Kurenai, I want you to know that I'm doing this for you. Remember that I swore to protect you. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Goodbye, everyone. Senzairu disappeared from sight and was in the air. Aizu looked up to see the boy in front. High above him was glowing white. The light was shining so bright it looked like an angel from come down from the heavens. Senzairu, who had his eyes closed throughout the whole process, opened suddenly. He then shouted, Angel of Death. Everything in the immediate area was covered by a blinding white light. The light died down, and it took everyone a while to see clearly. Kurenai, despite the pain in her legs and back, stood up. Senzairu, Senzairu, Senzairu. Asuma slowly picked himself up and strugglingly walked to her and put a hand on her shoulder. Kurenai, he's gone. He's not gone. It's just one of his sick jokes. He'll come out any minute, you'll see, you'll see. She fell to the ground and broke down crying. Shizune was crying hysterically. Genma went to comfort her. Shikaku walked back to the group. His fight was over, the nin he was fighting faded with the light. He looked at his group and saw Senzairu missing. Genma, who was holding a crying Shizune in his arms, looked at Shikaku and shook his head. Shikaku looked at the ground when a gleam in the grass caught his eye. He walked to the spot to find the Shodime's necklace. He put it in his pocket. He was not looking forward to telling Tsunade that her son was dead. He didn't tell the team to come on, he let them stay there and mourn the loss of a friend and a teammate. End of flashback. Senzairu was now ready to end it, but something he didn't expect to happen occurred. He started to glow orange, then his transformation faded away in embers. He was back in his normal form. My power, what happened? Xenos. The second he lost focus, the binding technique that was used in conjunction with this jutsu, was dispelled, allowing Aizu the window to attack Senzairu. A sharp kick sent him hurling to the ground. Everyone was surprised at what just occurred, even Senzairu himself. Shit, I let the fading of the transformation distract me. If I would have kept my focus, I could have ended this. Shit, the window has closed. Aizu started to walk towards Senzairu but stopped midway when he saw an unusual glow from the corner of his eye. Turning to the direction of the glow, he was shocked to see it coming from Naruto's corpse. Hayami and Sasuke were both looking at Naruto, trying to understand what was happening. Naruto-Nisan is glowing, what is going on, Sasuke-san? I don't know. Sasuke activated his Sharingan, what is this chakra? Neji, who was within the seal, looked at Naruto with his Byakugan, his chakra. Hinata, who was also looking, added her 2 cents, it's doing something I've never seen before. Shinji was watching Naruto closely, I can't believe it, is this really, the bearer of the light? Everyone watched Naruto as his body was giving off a white glow. Yumi smiled, he's coming back really soon. Limbo. Naruto smiled at Heaven's Blade and called forth the man's name. Ka Tengali. Hearing his name come out of Naruto's mouth caused a smile to develop. When this happened, both his and Naruto's eyes started to glow. The color of his golden locks turned a ghostly white and his ocean-colored eye began to glow. Golden chakra engulfed his frame. Shining the brightest among the other wielders, Naruto had achieved what he came there to achieve. He had achieved the final form, he had become the bearer of the light. Raiho and the others were happy to see Naruto achieve the form. Naruto looked at his hands to see the golden glow. He didn't even look up when a sword was aimed at his head. Instead, he caught the blade with his right hand while still looking at his left. This is unreal. I can't believe that this technique would allow me to use your power as my own. The wielder who had attacked Naruto jumped back and sheathed his sword, looking at Raiho. What is he talking about? Doesn't he know? Ka landed in front of Naruto, while Minato, Kushina, Kaori, Sarutobi and everyone else gathered around him. Touching Naruto's shoulder caused him to look up at Ka. Naruto, understand this for what it is. This power that you feel is not mine, it's all you. Sarutobi, Minato, Kushina, and Kaori didn't expect that, and judging by the look on Naruto's face, neither did he. How can this be? This can't be my power, it's unreal. Let me inform you about something, Naruto. What I do is not give power, I unlock the power within. I guess you can say I am like a key that opens the door of potential, setting free person's potential level and making it reality. Naruto, what you are feeling now is your potential, a level that you could possibly reach someday without the sword. That is what Bearer of the Light does, unlocks a person's maximum potential. Potential, Naruto, is something that can vary. You see, your potential today may not be the same as tomorrow. As you grow in strength, so does your potential. You are in fact the strongest wielder I have ever seen. Whether you are the best still remains to be seen, Ka informed. Anshin stepped forward and extended his hand for Naruto to shake. Congrats, kid, you've earned it. I honestly didn't think you would last longer against us. But you are the bearer now, it is up to you to keep balance. Uzumaki Naruto, I'm sure I will hear the name when new souls enter heaven. Kaori stepped up to Naruto. Naruto, protect your sister and tell her that we love her. Raiho placed a hand on his shoulder. Don't only protect her, Naruto, protect those who need to be protected. Sarutobi was the next to speak. Who would have thought that the snot-nosed kid who bumped heads with me has one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful tool in the world. You never cease to amaze me, Naruto. Konoha needs you, go save the village. Naruto's mother spoke. I wish we had more time together, Naruto. I see that you're as confident as your father and have a heart as big as mine. Kaori-san has told me about the son I never got a chance to know. Naruto, I want you to know that what we did was what we. Naruto cut her off. I know. I don't hate you. When I was younger I wanted a family and wondered why I didn't have one. Was it because I was a monster that my parents left, or was it another reason? I realize you guys didn't leave, you died to protect me. You loved me enough to do that. Naruto turned to Minato. You sealed the 9 tails in me and I wonder why the Yondaime would do that. I know it was to protect the village, but I didn't understand why until I discovered you were my father. If I had a son, I would have done the same thing because I wouldn't trust anyone else with that power. You trusted me to use the power that tried to destroy the village to protect it. It wasn't meant to be, but I understand why it was done. I wanted to be Hokage, I admired you and wanted to be like you, but our paths lie on different roads and I will forge my own legend. Of course you will, you're my son. Now show the world what I saw when you first entered this world, show the world how great Uzumaki Naruto, correction, the Golden Fox, is. I don't know who this Aizu guy is, but stop him. Good luck, son. Ka spoke, gaining Naruto's attention. Well, we have to move now. Senzaru lost his power, and Aizu is eyeing us. The Uchiha will protect you, but both he and Hayami will die if Aizu attacks. He's heading toward us, grab me and we will protect everyone. Naruto grabbed his hand and the golden light engulfed him. Stadium. Aizu launched at Naruto. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't look good. Whatever it is, I have to stop it. Sasuke appeared in front of Naruto and Hayami and summoned Kusanagi. Preparing to shield Hayami and Naruto from Aisu's swing, he never had a chance to. Tsunade, Senzaru, Jiraiya, and everyone else I expanded at what just occurred. Yumi smiled. Welcome back, Naruto-kun. Konohamaru's mouth was hanging open. Whoa, bro is golden. A few miles from Konoha. While heading back to Cloud, one of the Cloud Junin said with a hint of fear in his voice, what was that chakra? That chakra, I never felt a chakra force from this far before. Not even yours reached this far, Kuin-sama. Kuin smiled. Welcome back, Uzumaki Naruto. Rado looked at Kuin then back at his father's location. Father, you have to win and come home. Konoha. Aizu couldn't believe what he was seeing. Naruto, who was dead minutes ago, was standing between him and the Uchiha. Heaven's blade rested against the black dragon's fang, preventing it from going any further. The golden aura radiated from his body. His head, which was now decorated with white locks, he looked up at Aizu with the glowing blue eyes. There was only one thing in his eyes, and that one thing was resolve. He's changed. He has become something else, he has achieved another level. I have to stop him soon. Was what Aizu thought. Naruto, however, only thought one thing. Protect everyone, I will protect everyone. As the bearer of the light, he had the power to do just that. Gazing at Aizu, Naruto addressed Hayami, I'm sorry, I know I scared you, but I didn't mean to. He then addressed Sasuke next. Sasuke, thanks for looking after her and for putting your life on the line for a dead guy. Just get Hayami and yourself away from here. Sasuke smirked. Dobe, just make sure that you don't die again. I don't have enough chakra to keep saving your ass. You mean, the great Uchiha Sasuke is admitting he's weak. Whatever, get out of here now. Sasuke nodded and grabbed Hayami and took off. He appeared near Senzaru and the others. When he glanced at Senzaru, he asked, what happened? I lost concentration when the fusion faded. The fact is, Xenos did me a favor by allowing me to fuse with him when I was forbidden to do so. He gave me a certain amount of time to get the job done, and even without him, I still should have maintained the concentration necessary to execute my jutsu. Senzaru said, still angry at himself. Shinji spoke, be glad that you will get to see your child grow up. With what Naruto has achieved, there is no way he loses. Sasuke, with his Sharingan activated, turned to Shinji and said, what is this? His power is unreal. Naruto has become the bearer of the light. Many have wielded the blade over the ages, but only a few achieve this level. Naruto has tapped into the pinnacle of the sword's ability. Senzaru informed everyone. So he's drawing all of this power from the sword? Sasuke asked. Shinji shook his head, no. The power that you sense is all Naruto. Kakashi was the first to say, how is that possible? How can one person have this much power? This is Naruto's potential realized. The bearer of the light, from what my grandfather and Raiho Oji have told me, is that it unlocks a person's potential, bringing it forth and making it a reality. Naruto potential is being realized right now. I'm not an expert at sensing chakra, but even I can sense how powerful he has become. He was the one all along. The blade has selected the world's champion. Shinji stated with pride. Stadium. Naruto was still standing before Aizu with his sword pressed against Dragon's Fang. It didn't take Aizu long to fade from everyone's view only to appear in the sky, high above the rest of the group. Pulling his sword back into his left side and holding it tight, dark flaming chakra was being sucked into the sword. When the sword was encased by black flame, Aizu thrust the sword in Naruto's direction, sending a black beam heading toward him. Senzaru was worried, and his voice revealed his lack of calm. If he doesn't move or do anything, he will not survive. That is one of Aisu's. Senzaru didn't even finish his sentence, he was in too much shock to do so. Hinata, Shinji, Tsunade, Sasuke, Hayami, Sakura, Kakashi, Tenzu, Baki, Guy, Asuma, Kurenai, Hanabi, Neji, Lee, Shikamaru, Kiba, Shino, Ino, Tenten, Konohamaru, Gaara, Temari, Kankuro, Genma, Yokohana, Sasum, Ranpu, Meikinu, Akuru, Futeki, Yasumi, Naya, Savaya, Jiraiya, and Yumi all watched with shocked eyes. Naruto had caught the beam with his left hand. Aizu was more than shocked as he watched his attack dissipate in Naruto's hand. The young man covered in the golden chakra cloak never took his eyes off of the half-man and half-dragon. Sasuke was the first to speak. Naruto, it seems he has achieved a level that surpasses us all. Shikamaru nodded, so it would seem. I guess it's safe to say he is the strongest shinobi of our generation. He may not become Hokage, but I think that he will be equally if not more respected after today. This fight, it's pretty much over. Everyone turned to Shikamaru. What do you mean that it's over? This guy Aizu seems to always have an ace up his sleeve. Ino stated. There are no more aces, this is Aizu at full strength. Senzaru pointed out. The most powerful form that both Aizu and I can achieve is through fusion with Zeno's and Soro's. In the transformed state, Zeno's powers become mine and Soro's becomes Aizu. He has reached his limit. Senzaru pointed out. That being the case, Naruto has become the bearer of the light. This is the ultimate jutsu. For him to have achieved it is nothing short of amazing. I just wish my uncle could have been here to see this, he would have been proud. Senzaru said while being supported by Hinata. Tsunade took a step forward, appearing on Shinji's side. His father would have also been proud. I'm proud. Shino didn't speak much, but when he did, people listened. Uzumaki Naruto, the greatest hero Konoha has ever known, even greater than Yondaime, has returned to protect us. Our lives, our past, present, and future resides within him. His will, his dream, his heart, it all lies with him. This war, without his aid Konoha would have surely fallen. His mere presence tipped the scale. He is an inspiration. When he displayed his power against Uchiha Sasuke, it ignited a fire in all of us to get stronger either mentally, physically or both. His name is known throughout the world. In some countries he is feared for his skill and in others, he is hailed as a hero. What I see when I look at Naruto isn't the overconfident facade that he displays. I see a person who fights and always follows through, and to quote him, Uzumaki Naruto never goes back on his word, that is my Nindo. Shino displayed a rare smile as he thought back to the Chunin exams 6 years ago. Flashback. Will you take the 10th question knowing that you will remain a genin forever? Abiki had hoped to scare the boy, but his words had an inverse effect. I don't care if I remain a genin forever, I will still become Hokage someday. I never go back on my word, that is my Nindo. Naruto's confidence caused Abiki to smile. Shino, who was sitting a few rows behind Naruto, couldn't help but think, such passion about a goal. Uzumaki Naruto, now I see why Hinata likes you. That passion, that drive, it will certainly help you achieve your dream, Naruto. End of flashback. Shino watched as Naruto stood yards away from everyone, seemingly unfazed. Ino looked at Shino, then at Naruto. It's funny, I always saw him as a loser. Sasuke was always better and Naruto was just the dead last. Funny how that changed when he kicked your ass, Neji. Neji turned away slightly angered, causing everyone to giggle. No one believed that Naruto could do it, well maybe Hinata, but other than her no one. Then he pulled perhaps the greatest upset in the whole examen history. The dead last from the current graduating class defeated the genius, Hyuga Neji. Flashback. Ino was the first to admit that she wasn't fond of Naruto. In her eyes he was an idiot and an unworthy teammate for her future husband Sasuke. But looking at this fight with Neji, her opinion about him started to slowly change. Knockdown after knockdown, he continued to pick himself up. He doesn't know when to give up. She didn't think he stood a chance. Now she would admit that she couldn't beat him, but him defeating Neji was not going to happen. Then it happened. Naruto's chakra turned red, and before she knew it, him and Neji were fighting on even ground. Then Naruto charged Neji, causing a standoff that ended with both shinobi in a hole. When Neji was the first to climb out then stand over Naruto, everyone knew then that it was over. He put up a good fight, you a strong Naruto, but it wasn't. Breaking from the ground, a fist was planted into Neji's chin, sending him up before came crashing to the ground. No one, not even her, expect Naruto to be standing over Neji, the one deemed the genius of the Hyuga. It was clear as day. Naruto stood over Neji, and seconds later Genma said, "Winner, Uzumaki Naruto." The crowd was silent. A few seconds later everyone was cheering for Naruto. Ino looked around then smiled, so much for being the dead last. Turning to look at Sakura, she could see the smile on the girl's face on Naruto. She would never see him the same again. What she saw was a person who never gave up. He didn't know, but his fight did inspire her to become stronger. End of flashback. Ino smiled while looking at Naruto. Naruto. Sakura watched her former teammate closely. He always protected me. Even now he still protects me. I remember when Shikamaru, Kiba, Neji, Chuji, and Naruto went to bring Sasuke back. Everyone turned to look at Sakura. Flashback. The group stood at the gate. With tears in her eyes she looked at Naruto. Naruto, please bring him back to me. Please Naruto, bring Sasuke home. Sakura-chan really likes Sasuke. I understand you are hurting. Don't worry Sakura-chan, putting his thumb up and turning his head slightly, I will bring Sasuke back. He always understood me, just when I thought he didn't, he always understood me. Sakura bowed, thank you Naruto. All she could see was the back of the five as they headed into the unknown. She just prayed that he brought Sasuke back. End of flashback. He didn't bring Sasuke back, but that is okay, I know why. Naruto even said it when he was fighting Sasuke. He would have killed him but he didn't. It didn't matter though, I let my anger get away in the fact that he was a friend. You know, I wanted to be the one to protect him someday, but even now I can't. Yet he still protects me after all I did. Naruto, again, thank you. Gaara looked at Sakura, he protected you because he cared for you deeply. His drive to save you is the reason he defeated me. Flashback. Why do you fight for them? Gaara watched as Naruto inched close to him. They saved me from my loneliness. If you try to harm them, I will kill you. Naruto continued to inch closer. Gaara was a little surprised by the statement. He fought to prove his existence, and here was someone who was like him yet fought to protect his friends. End of flashback. You helped me realize that I became exactly what they wanted me to be, a monster. Now, after showing my villagers that I fight to protect them, they look at me differently. You are truly the best Naruto. A small smile formed on Gaara's face. Naruto blocked Isu's attack with the blade. Aizu, who was still in his transformed state, decided he would try another attack on Naruto. This isn't happening. I will not let it end here like this. I will make my dream a reality. The flame began swirl around Aizu violently. Yelling in frustration, Aizu stabbed the ground, causing tremors throughout the area. His action caused red beams to shoot up from the ground surrounding Naruto. After a few beams shot up from the ground, one engulfed Naruto completely. Everyone watched as Naruto was caught in a more intense version of Isu's demonic slice. No one knew what to think until chakra slashes flew out of the beam that engulfed Naruto toward Aizu. Jumping out of the way and into the air, Isu's eyes widened when he felt a hand touch his shoulder. Turning his head slightly, Naruto, whose sword was extended far behind him, spoke softly, "This is pointless, just stop already." Swinging around quickly slashing at Naruto, Aizu connected with thin air. Where the hell did he go? Aizu didn't have time to even look for Naruto. He could feel a strong gust of wind that slowly formed into a stationary tornado. Completely surrounded, he could feel the multiple slashes on his body as the wind was tearing into him. Knowing that he had to break the jutsu or possibly have his hopes and dream end here, Aizu filled the area with black flame until the tornado exploded. Suspended in the air, he looked down to see Naruto looking up at him. The confidence in the boy's eyes caused Aizu to glare at him. Dropping to the ground, he continued his intense gaze. Who does he think he is dealing with? Does he not know who I am and what I am capable of? He looks at me as if I have already lost. I will not allow that, I will not. Aizu raised his blade over his head. When he brought the blade down in a slashing motion, in hopes to use silent curse, he found that his sword stopped halfway down. Looking into the glowing blue eyes of Naruto, he couldn't believe what happened. For the first time in a long time, he could honestly say that he was unable to follow an opponent. Naruto stopping his blade made it clear that he had elevated to a level that was above Aizu, who refused to admit it. Naruto's calm soft voice caught him off guard. Aizu, stop this, you can't win. You seem confident, Uzumaki. I applaud you on your newfound ability, but you can't stop me. Aizu said, not truly believing what he was saying. Standing behind Aizu with the sword resting at his side, glanced behind to look at Aizu, who was standing as if nothing occurred. At least that is what it looked like to everyone else. That was until Aizu fell to one knee clutching his stomach. Konohamaru was the first to break the silence. What the hell just happened? Sasuke, who had his Sharingan active, barely saw it, but was the only one to see it nonetheless. I saw it but barely. Even with the Sharingan and its ability to capture all motion, I was still only able to follow barely. Sasuke answered Konohamaru's question by addressing the group. Naruto left out the blade and planted a number of punches in Aisu's stomach. The exact amount is something I couldn't tell you. Kakashi, who had his Hayate over his eye, slowly lifted it up, revealing the Sharingan in his left eye. If that's the case, I must know what we are dealing with. Kiba's laughter caused everyone to look at the young man. Naruto sure is as wise as ever. Look at how that bastard is standing there without the slightest sign of worry. It brings me back to our battle. Flashback. Kiba was standing in the middle of the ring with Akamaru. His last attack sent Naruto crashing on the arena floor. Smirking, it's over. That deadless chump should have known his place. He won't be opening his eyes, ref, Kiba said with a confident tone to Hayate. However, his confident tone faded when Naruto slowly rose to his feet, causing Kiba's eyes to widen in shock. Tell everyone, don't underestimate me. A bloody lip, Naruto said to the Inuzuka. End of flashback. Kiba closed his and a smile formed on his face. To think he would come this far, Akamaru. The dog answered with a woof, woof. Well said, Akamaru, Kiba said as he pet the dog. Hinata took a step forward. Naruto-kun, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is truly amazing. Yokohana was the next to speak. Yes, it is. I knew that this would be history. We all will have the pleasure to say that we was a part of one of the greatest battles ever witnessed. Chuan shook her head in agreement. True indeed. But I will go down as the Hokage who did nothing to protect the village. I am a disgrace. She put her head down. Her balled fists were shaking as she clenched them tighter. Jiraiya, who was still focusing on keeping the barrier stabilized, glanced at Tsunade. Don't get so down, Tsunade. Remember, it was you who decided to seek Naruto out. You made conscious decision to seek out an ally who could help you protect your village. Now you might not deliver the final blow, but you did make the decision to ensure Konoha's safety. You did what any Hokage would have done. You are a great Hokage, Tsunade-sama. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya for a quick second. Her attention immediately went to Naruto. Again, you save me, Naruto. A genin protecting Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin. How pathetic am I? You won't die until you become Hokage, you once said. Well, Naruto, looks like don't have to worry about dying. Even if you decided to move back to Konoha, I would not allow you to lead this village. Nope, not at all. I lead this village for one reason and one reason only, and that was because of the bet that we made all those years ago. You learning the Rasengan in a week showed me that anything is possible, even getting over my fear of blood. Your ability to get people to put all of their trust into you is truly amazing. Naruto, you are truly the greatest shinobi I have ever known. Tsunade stepped forward as close as she could get without stepping outside of the barrier and yelled, Naruto, end it now. Naruto looked back at Tsunade. Sorry, Bar-chan, but you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Naruto turned back to Aizu. His attacks are not as calculated as they once were. He desperately wants to win, and the look in his eyes, it doesn't seem as cold as it once was. Why? He has the look of a warrior fighting for a goal. What is that goal, Aizu? What do you want? Naruto stepped to the side, avoiding a slash. Aizu followed with another slash, which Naruto dodged. Jumping in the air, Aizu formed a seal with one hand and placed his index and middle finger to his mouth. Taking a deep breath, a black flame exited from his mouth heading toward Naruto, who used genjutsu to stop the flames. Aizu used his wings to remain in the air. I have the tactical advantage. Even if he has achieved another level, there is no way that he can. Aizu's eyes expanded. He felt a slight pain in his wings. Slowly his wings began to separate from his back. He slowly descended to the ground. While falling, he glanced behind him, seeing Naruto with his back toward Aizu. Quickly doing a front flip while descending, Naruto brought the sword forward and held it toward Aizu. The tip of the sword started to glow. Aizu remembered this jutsu from his fight with Raiho and from his battle with Naruto earlier. Shit, I've got to do something. Before he could finish his sentence, Sky Slash came at Aizu full force. The jutsu hit Aizu dead on, creating a dust cloud. Naruto landed on the ground. Turning around, he watched as Aizu crashed into the ground. Senzairu was speechless. Naruto clipped his wings in an instant. Aizu was going to use that to his advantage, but now he doesn't have one. This battle. Dark flames flared up as Aizu slowly picked himself up from the ground. Blood was dripping from where his wings once were. Glaring at the QB container, he couldn't help but feel discontent for this warrior before him. Uzumaki Naruto, I will kill you. Slashing the empty space in front him, Aizu figured this jutsu would work on Naruto. He couldn't have been more wrong. When the stadium wall behind everyone collapsed, the Raikage knew that Naruto blocked his silent curse. How was he able to detect it? Only person who has ever been able to achieve such a feat was Senzairu. This kid, what the hell is he? Feeling a sharp pain in his stomach, Aizu looked down to see that he now had a knee in his stomach. Pushing his leg forward, Naruto sent him flying and crashing into the ground. Naruto couldn't help but think that this fight was pointless. Aizu was fighting a losing battle, whether he wanted to admit it or not. Yokohama couldn't help but smile. Naruto, look at you. I remember our first encounter. It's really too bad that you never did take me up on my offer. Flashback 2 years ago. Sun Country, one of the beautiful countries in the world, was ruled by Karai Sosatsu, the father of Karai Yokohama. A peaceful nation and prosperous nation, Yokohama loved her country. A young lady going into her 25th year was bored with her life. She wanted excitement. People often agreed with her no matter if she was wrong, and basically did everything she said simply because of who she was. The dinner table at which she sat induced her boredom more. It did so to such a degree that her father had to lightly tap her a couple of times to sit up. What a relief she had when her father said, Yokohama, would you please show these lovely young princesses around? It was customary to show the princesses of other nations around the premises. It gave the males time to discuss country matters. While walking outside past the hand-carved dragon fountains in front of the palace, Yokohama and the princess of Earth Country was talking. You have a nice place here. So where are the hot guys? The princess from Wind and Fire both stepped forward. Yokohama answered as honestly as she could, most of the guys here are too scared to talk to any of us because of our status, but I'm sure you will see tons while we walk by, just ogle us and do nothing. That is true, which is why I love Shinobi. Especially Uchiha Sasuke, what a sexy guy he is, and I don't care, his attitude drives me crazy, the princess of Fire Country said with hearts in her eyes. The Kazekage is so hot. But I do envy you, Yui. Hyuga Neji and Sasuke are very attractive. But you know who is also hot? Umi and Laylee may not agree, but Uzumaki Naruto. You mean the golden fox? Umi, the princess of Earth Country, screamed. Laylee, who was from Rain, was also surprised. You mean the guy who just recently slaughtered a large number of our shinobi? Sure, he can't step foot onto our land without being sentenced to death, but that doesn't mean he can't be attractive. I've never saw a picture of him, how does he look? Yui pulled out a picture of Team 7. One that was obtained from the Chunin exams. This is an old picture, but the blonde is Uzumaki Naruto. I wonder how he looks now. Umi stated curiously. Aki pulled out a more recent picture. This is Naruto-kun. All of the girls gathered to look at the picture. Yokohama, who really didn't care but was curious, couldn't believe it. I saw this guy before. He actually is here right now as we speak. The girls continued to talk. Arki looked Yui. I still don't understand why your village would get rid of the only person Gaara has ever said beat him. Judging by his most recent exploits, I dare say he is one of the best shinobi from your village since Yondaime Hokage. Now that I think about it, they do favor one another, don't they? Yes, they do, but Uchiha Sasuke is the best. Yoko Ana tuned the girls out. She eventually excused herself and headed to the palace balcony where she remembers seeing him stationed. After getting upstairs, she saw a figure dressed in all black. What are you doing up here, Yoko Ana Haim? I can only assume you were watching me. Father hired you to protect me. Why would he hire such a savage is beyond me. Her attention really wasn't to insult, but she did want to get a reaction. Naruto turned to look at the women. Savage, you say? Yes. Killing to prove yourself. All of shinobi are alike. Do you all kill because of something that you like? Yoko Ana looked at Naruto's genitals and smirked. I don't kill unless my life or the life of people I care about is threatened. So why did you kill all of those shinobi? And why are you here now? Is it to get intel on what actions they might take on you? To answer your first question, they kidnapped someone dear to me. The answer to the second question is because your father asked me. The third, well, you hit it on the money, but I could care less. They can bring it on if they want. Naruto stated, not really showing any fear at all. Mr. Tough Guy, if we're so tough, why don't you reveal yourself to all of the shinobi from Rock and Rain that are present? Naruto turned and walked back to the balcony. Smiling, typical, all talk. Yoko Ana said as she folded her hands. Again, I don't attack unless I'm provoked. I have no beef with them. Like I said, they made a mistake and paid for it dearly. So serious, Uzumaki Naruto. Does that help with the ladies? Yoko Ana said teasingly. Who knows and who cares? Was all Naruto said. Are you afraid of women, Uzumaki Naruto? Better question, are you afraid of me? Naruto turned to women and looked at her from head to toe. Why would I be afraid of you? She narrowed her eyes. What is that supposed to mean? I'll have you know, men fall before my feet and are left speechless by my beauty. Why? Was all Naruto said. You son of a. What do you mean why? Look at me and what I signify, doesn't that say it all? No. Just another princess full of herself is what I see. Naruto turned back to look outside. It seems that the meetings are over. You should go say goodbye to your friends. She didn't know what it was, but she couldn't help but feel an attraction to Naruto. Slowly walking up to him, she placed her arms around his neck. Wouldn't you rather that we stay up here and have fun of our own? I didn't know being sluttish was customary for a princess. This caused her to narrow her eyes. When I get back, I want you gone from my country, or so help me, I will have every shinobi from Rain and Rock here, you got that? She stormed off to say goodbye to the other girls. End of flashback. I was acting kind of sluttish, but to be the first person to speak to me like I was normal attracted me to you. I know that you love Yumi, which is why I haven't sent her to her death yet. No, but seriously, if I had to design a perfect mate, he probably wouldn't come close. Yoko Ana smiled as another memory came to mind. Flashback. That same night, Yoko Ana was walking back to her room and she was pissed off. I can't believe he rejected me. Does he not know that most guys would kill to have had me offer myself up to them? He is a fool. Nothing more than a. Yoko Ana was pinned to the ground by a Rain shinobi. Yoko Ana Haim. Such a beautiful girl, which is why it is a shame I have to kill you. Framing Uzumaki Naruto with your death will align us with this village, giving us an abundance of resources for the war to come. But before I kill you, I think I will torture you a bit. Moving his hand that contained the kunai up to her throat, he found that it stopped when it got inches to touching her neck. What's going on? Ugh, was what came from the Rain shinobi's mouth as a kick to the stomach forced him off of Yoko Ana. My binding jutsu is what's going on. I despise guys like you trying to take advantage of women. I really would like to torture you, but your death will be quick and painless. Goodbye, Rain shinobi. Naruto planted his sword in the chest of the shinobi. Are you okay? Naruto asked. Yay. I thought you left, weren't you scared by my threat? Your father, he's a good guy and he asked me to look after you. You're precious to him, so I promised him that I would protect you. Even if I was scared, which I wasn't, I never go back on my word. Picking herself up, Yoko Ana dusted herself off. Never go back on your word, huh? I didn't know a professional killer could have honor. That's not all there is to us shinobi Yokohama. Killing is a part of what we do, but it doesn't define who we are. Since you are okay, I will be going. Naruto, wait. She was twiddling her thumbs, trying to muster up the courage to say, I'm sorry about earlier. I was just trying to test you, I guess. You see, most guys I deal with are either too scared to talk to me or are narcissistic jerks. Where do I fall? Naruto asked. You're just a jerk, but you're a guy, so that can't be helped. In any event, I don't act sluttish. I just figured that you put on a front and was like any other guy. Yokohama confessed. I'm just Uzumaki Naruto. I really have to get going. Good night, Yokohama Haim. Naruto, I don't normally do this, but would you like to have dinner with me sometime? She asked. Sorry, but my girlfriend Yumi would probably have reservations with that, unless it's a casual friendly dinner. Truly, I'm sorry, but I better head home. Again, good night. Naruto left Yokohama to herself. Did he just reject me? The youthful princess just smiled. You are indeed something, Uzumaki Naruto. A few months. It was morning in Sun Country. Yokohama and her father, who has been sick lately, was walking down the palace halls. Father, shouldn't you be in bed? Shouldn't you be spending your days with a man that you love and giving me grandchildren? Her father said playfully. Father, most of the guys nowadays don't meet your standards, Yoko-chan. I seem to recall a certain shinobi though who does. Too bad he is in love. Maybe if your paths would crossed earlier. Her father said. True, but I'm happy for him and that Yuhi, Yus or whatever her name is. In any event, father, what are we going to do about allies? Our country doesn't have military as strong as Konoha, Cloud, Rock, Water, and Sand. We should be reinforcing our treaties with these nations. Well, Cloud is a nation I don't wish to associate with. That rakeage rubs me the wrong way. Rain and Rock seem to be under his influence, which is why I refuse to align with any of them. We broke our ties with Konoha a few years back, not because of their views but because I felt we were in an era of peace that alliances would not be required. Stupid on my part. Why not contact Tsunade and form an alliance with the Leaf Father? How about Sand? What about Grass? I have already formed an alliance with Waterfall Village, and that's because the leader has good relations with Naruto. He is also the only one who is aware that Naruto is in this country. How does he play a part in our political affairs, father? Yokohama questioned. His involvement in Rain and Rock has made him an S-class criminal. Every village would ask for his head in exchange for a treaty. I can't do that, Yoko-chan. I've had a chance to talk with the boy and I can honestly say I would never do anything that would put a friend in danger. Right now, no one knows Naruto is here in Sun Country and I will keep it that way. You've interact with him, so you know as well as I do that character such as his doesn't come around every day. Yokohama couldn't agree more with her father. So I guess we don't align with anyone for the time being. We remain out of this war since it isn't our fight, correct? Yokohama asked. Yes, I'm getting a little cold, Yoko-chan. Take me back to my room if you will. Grabbing his hand, she led her father back to his room. I need to ensure that this country stays safe. Father, I know how much you care for you subjects, which is why I will make sure they're all okay. With the war going on, the Fuma clan would probably not be opposed to moving. I will send a message to them and hope they take me up on my offer. End of flashback. Looking at Sasam, I'm glad that you took me up on my offer, Sasam. She looked at Yokohama. Yokohama-sama, are you okay? Couldn't be better, Sasam. I'm watching the greatest shinobi protect the village that has rejected him and the world as well. How many people can say that? Not many, Yokohama-sama. Sasam said. Flashback 3 months later. Naruto was walking with Yokohama through the palace. Naruto, I have a mission for you if you choose to accept. What does it entail? The safety of Sun Country, Naruto. I wish to send an invitation to the Fuma clan. With this war, the only person I trust is you, Naruto. You've been a good friend. The Fuma clan, eh? It's been a while since I saw Sasam and everyone. Naruto informed. You mean you know them? Yokohama said, kind of surprised. Yes, I'm actually good friends with a young female named Fuma Sasam. I will deliver this invitation for Yokohama Haim free of charge. Think of this as my way of repaying you and your father for letting me stay here. You guys could have ratted me out and have every shinobi from rock to mist looking to collect the bounty on me. I've finally found a home and well, I would hate to have to relocate. Naruto said with a smile. Well, you might if you don't marry me. Yokohama said playfully. I'll be back before you know it, later. Naruto disappeared. All Yokohama could think was, thanks. End of flashback. Looking at Naruto, she was proud that he was a member of Sun Country. The Fire Country lost out. Fools, is what she thought. Looking upon Aizu, Naruto watched as the wreckage rose to his feet. Uzumaki Naruto, you truly are a strong fighter. However, you are not strong enough to deal with me. I will destroy you along with this village. Appearing high above Naruto and everyone in the stadium as well as the village, a dragon appeared under Aizu, who landed on top of the dragon. Raising the sword high above his head, black flames were slowly sucked into the sword. Hokage Monument. The citizens on the monument watched as Aizu stood high above everyone. The chakra level, this guy is going to destroy us all. One of the younger shinobi stated. Mai, who was observing the fight, wondered what was going on. Does it end here? Stadium. Senzairu turned to Naya, reinforce it now. We can't, we are doing the best we can as is. Saivaya, remember our levels have to be even in order to keep the balance. Saivaya is feeding the shield while Jiraiya and I are doing what we can to keep up. Naya pointed out. Don't worry, it should hold up, Jiraiya pointed out. His jutsu is going to destroy Konoha and everyone in it. Senzairu yelled out. Senzairu-san, don't worry. Naruto-ni will protect us. Hayami said while looking at Naruto. Sasuke smiled at Naruto. Dobe, too many people are depending on you. Failure is not an option. Isu's smirk presented itself once more. It ends now. A large dragon shot directly up from the sword. When the dragon climbed to its peak, the dragon came back toward Aizu, swallowing him completely. The black fiery dragon was heading toward Naruto, whom seemed not to be fazed by this in the least. Naruto disappeared from his location. Appearing a few feet behind the dragon, Naruto continued to float past the dragon. A golden light, which seemed to signify the slice which Naruto made, cut through the dragon. The black dragon started to glow white before it exploded into numerous flames. Hokage Monument. Oh no, we're going to die, those flames are going to kill us. A citizen said. Everyone was in panic and waited for what they knew to be certain death. In a building in Konoha, Ibiki stood with a few of his men. Those flames are going to destroy us if we don't do something. We don't have time, Ibiki Teiku, said one of the Chunin under his command. Shit, was all Ibiki could say. Stadium. Naruto, that's what Aizu was hoping you would do, you played right into his hand. Senzairu thought. Sasuke on the other hand smirked when glanced at Naruto. Time to shine, Dobe. Seeing that the flames that threaten all of Konoha and his friends, Naruto quickly performed a 180-degree spin while holding the glowing blade above his head. The attack that he performed was Celestial Wind. The glow from the blade and the sun hitting it caused everyone to be blinded by the light. Waiting a few minutes until the light died down, Naruto, who was standing on solid ground, turned his head slightly to look behind him. Aizu was clutching his stomach. Tsunade, who was watching, understood what had happened. Aizu became one with the dragon to increase the destructive power of his attack. But Naruto was smart enough to cut through the dragon, injuring him in the process. Not only that, he used his sword to cancel out the flames. You bastard! Escaped Isu's lips. You gambled and you lost, Aizu. Let me let you in on a secret about Celestial Wind. I can control the wind when using this jutsu. All I did was will the wind to cancel out all of the flames created from that explosion. You thought that taking injury would be okay as long as you destroyed me along with everyone in this village, correct? Naruto got his answer when Aizu's eyes narrowed. Well, it seems that your plan has failed. What will you do now, Aizu? This battle is pointless. That jutsu was supposed to end it all. You should not have been able to stop me, Naruto. Naruto turned around completely to face Aizu. Aizu, you are probably not aware of what's going on here, so allow me to enlighten you. I have achieved the bearer of the light. I am the light in the darkness that will protect and guide everyone to safety. You are the darkness, Aizu, that which I need to protect everyone from. However, throughout this battle I have seen your eyes change. Confident eyes they once were, but now, they are merely shadows of their former self. Naruto pointed out. Aizu, who was heavily injured, ignored Naruto's claim, "My eyes have not changed, Uzumaki. They still see one thing and one thing only." Fading from location to appear in front of Naruto, the Raikage thrust the sword forth. It was stopped by Heaven's Blade. Naruto didn't even attack, he just jumped back, creating distance between Aizu and himself. "Why can't you understand the futility of the situation?" Aizu's smirk caused a slight alarm for Naruto. "Yet your eyes fail to see what I have done." Two dragons tore from the ground surrounding Hayami, Sasuke, and Senzaru. Black orbs formed in their mouths. Preparing to fire upon their targets, the orb faded as the dragons were split from the waist. Glowing white, the summons fizzled away. Standing between Hayami, Sasuke, and Senzaru was Naruto with his sword extended to the right due to the slash he performed. Aizu looked at the Naruto who protected Hayami and the others, then back to the one standing on the other side of the battlefield. Kage Bunshin and Hiraishin. Hayami here has the Hiraishin kunai. You can't hope to hurt her as long as there is a breath in my body, Aizu. It's not just her though, Aizu, it's everyone here. I have endured the trials and hardships to achieve this power to protect. There is no way I will allow you to succeed. Whatever it is you are hoping to achieve ends today, Aizu. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Naruto said in an unwavering tone. Kill me. I will not die here, Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke, seeing that Aizu had prepared to charge at Naruto, grabbed Hayami and phased from the location. Senzaru moved as well. Appearing in front of Naruto, Aizu swung his sword at him, who avoided the blade by leaning back. Aizu continued with onslaught. Swing after swing, Naruto avoided each with the greatest of ease. With a wicked downward thrust aimed at Naruto, Aizu pierced the ground as Naruto was jumped in the air to his left. With a violent slash aimed at the Golden Fox's torso, Aizu attacked thin air. Spinning the sword in his hand, he turned to his body around completely and thrust the sword forward to the sky, releasing a concentrated black flame that ejected from the sword like a beam. Standing on top of one of the remaining beams in the stadium, Naruto did something that surprised everyone. He threw Heaven's Blade at the beam. The glowing blade ripped through Aizu's black flame slice. Aizu watched as the sword followed the path that his jutsu created. The blade coming toward him didn't worry Aizu at all. He dodged the blade by jumping to his right, while watching the blade crash into the ground. Shit, every jutsu I use has no effect. I must find a way to. Aizu tensed up when he felt something on his back just below his shoulder. It was Naruto. Aizu couldn't believe the speed in which he was able to move. He saw the blade crash into the ground, but yet he couldn't follow Naruto's movement. Gripping Aizu's GI tight, Naruto spun the Raikage around and slammed him into the ground. His sword was high above his head. The white glow transformed to gold. Aizu's eyes widened as he recognized the jutsu. I have to do something or. He never finished. Naruto brought the sword down on in a piercing motion, causing a golden halo that destroyed the remaining foundations of the stadium as well as buildings within a 2-mile radius of Konoha. Chuan and the others watched and wondered why they were not destroyed by the golden shockwave. What the hell, Naruto, that jutsu could have done nothing to any of us. Shinji, who was still being supported by Hinata, stated. Golden halo doesn't operate like that. The way it works is that the wielder focus their attack on their enemies without having to worrying about those they don't intend to harm. Since Naruto didn't wish to harm us, it's virtually harmless to us. Aizu, on the other hand, is probably dead. Usually you use that jutsu when fighting multiple enemies. It's a sure way to end a battle in your favor. However, it does take a lot of the user, well, in my case anyway. The saying for that jutsu goes, those under the halo need not worry, for they will be protected as long as I deem. In other words, you will not be harmed. Senzaru gave Tsunade a weak smile. Sasuke watched Naruto with his Sharingan active. How does he keep surviving? The Uchiha asked, annoyed. Naruto was also a little surprised to see Aizu underneath his blade with one eye closed, breathing heavy. Looking closely, he noticed that there were flames on Aizu's blade. This caused Naruto to smirk. I see, you used the flames as a shield. Naruto looked at Aizu weird when he opened his mouth. Sensing danger, Naruto backflipped out of the way of the flame that appeared in Aizu's mouth, landing a few feet away from Cloud's leader. Aizu, whose attention was dedicated to Naruto, listened intently to what he had to say. Aizu, Whatever your plans are, please let's end this battle without any more bloodshed. I still don't even know the purpose of this war, but I do know that it needs to end. If you continue with your course of action, I will have no choice but to kill you. Aizu disappeared, appearing behind Naruto. The sword in his hand was swung at Naruto's head, but he stopped it with his index finger. I told you that it was pointless. Naruto, understand that I'm fighting for a dream. If you ever had a dream, then you know that there is no way that I am going to back down. To end my dream, you will have no choice but to end my life. Aizu's words caused Naruto to close his eyes. So be it. Naruto appeared behind Aizu, who didn't even realize that he moved. He didn't realize it until a long thin line started to form on his chest, slowly causing blood to erupt from his chest. When he fell to one knee, he turned his head to see Naruto with his back to him. Turning his head slightly, he looked at Aizu with sympathy in his eyes. He decided to ask the question that he should have asked from the beginning. Why, Aizu, why do you fight? What is your reason? Naruto turned to face the man. Aizu slowly rose up. Holding his chest with his left arm, he turned to Naruto and looked at the boy. I fight for one thing and one thing only, Naruto. I fight for peace. You're probably thinking, how could I fight for peace when I have killed so many people? Well, that's easy, Naruto. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to in order to reach an end goal. War. I despise it, but I do understand what it is capable of. War sparks fear into the heart of the helpless, and it alters the perspective of all that fight in it. I asked myself, why does war even exist? What is the purpose? The answer I came up with is that men fight to rule. The purpose of war is beating your enemies and to add more pieces to your collection. I, however, fight to end war. To be known as the true power in the world, the one that everyone fears, respect will cause everyone to fall in line. I said it before, Naruto, this world needs a leader. The world doesn't need a leader, Aizu, it needs a champion. We as mortals have no right to decide how people should live. Doing so robs people of their free will. What you want is a dictatorship. Call it what you will, but people are savages at heart. The only thing anyone respects at all anymore is fear and power. Ask yourself this, Naruto, how many will fear you knowing that you are not only the Kyuubi Jinchuriki but you wield Heaven's blade? That fear will drive them to hate you. It will even drive some to plot on how to steal that power. No one will respect you, Naruto, no one. Aizu said to the younger man. I have all the respect I need, Aizu. People fear what they don't understand, and since that is the case, I will make them understand. Aizu shook his head. You know nothing of this world. You're young and naive. I used to think like you. No, I used to be you. Even after my family was slaughtered in front of me during one of the many shinobi wars that inflicted this world, a child only wishes to make the pain go away, to stop all who prey on the weak. The evil people, the ones who start wars with no reason, none that is worth the sacrifice of lives. What do you call the dead bodies that decorate Konoha and the Fire Country? I call it progression, progression to a better tomorrow. You couldn't possibly understand me, Naruto. The only person who ever understood me was my wife Hana. Aizu removed his hand from his chest and looked at the ground with gloomy eyes. Looking back up at Naruto, he narrowed his eyes. I swore on her dead corpse that I would make the world a better place. I vowed that I would shape the world into an image that everyone would be happy to look at. Uzumaki Naruto, I will not let you stop me here. I have come too far to stop fighting for what I believed, what we believed. Aizu, every man is endless to his beliefs. That doesn't mean I won't stop you. Naruto, let me tell you a story about a little boy who was born in a village 50 miles north of Rain Country. Maybe his story will help you understand the reason behind this and why I will do anything to make sure that it comes to fruition. Naruto didn't drop his guard, but he was curious. He wanted to know, no, he needed to know. Aizu took a deep breath, then started to talk. It all started. To be continued. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.